Hey, 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 hello, hello. Welcome to the next installment of How to Grow Your Business with Training. I am Susan Gaddy. This is my weekly live how to tip about how to take something you know to be true about training and use it in a completely different way that will actually grow your business and elevate the way you train your people internally in your organization. So today I have a really exciting topic, one that it has, just to re-show you this video here at the beginning, I'll turn off the sound. But this is a very typical scenario that happens a lot for companies that are creating training as well as entrepreneurs who are creating training programs that they're selling to companies is we believe that we understand the view of training, right? And what training is actually set to do, which is, but what we know to be true is that there's actually different results that training provides. So, for example, if you are picking up a book because you think that if I read this book, I'm going to be able to take a different and new action, you're most likely going to be very disappointed by your results because the book is actually designed to be more of an awareness and a pattern interrupt and showing you information that you don't already know to be true. On the flip side, you might go to a systems training. This is a conversation I was having with clients this week. You might go to a systems training and learn all the steps of the new software system. But when you get back to your desk at your workspace, the likelihood of you being able to implement on those steps that you learned by watching the video or going to the training or whatever you did are actually quite low. We know that to be true, right? They're actually quite low because what you actually need now is clarity. So there's little how-to pieces of information that click things and give you the extra support that you need in implementation. So while we think we know everything there is to know about creating training or having really good training, what I really want to focus on today is the classification that we've come up with at MXID Consulting to help us think about the end goal of three very different types of training and three very different types of training needs. So, if you're with me today, I'd love to hear you say hello. Are you facing these issues yourself in your company, or for those of you creating training, you think what you're building is actually going to get a result and it doesn't? And we all know the fallout that can happen from that because our participants aren't getting the results that they want, which is ultimately the goal of training. So feel free to drop me any comments. What is happening for you? Are you noticing this? And most importantly, let's see if I can give you some information that's going to help you get even better at figuring out how to create solid training scenarios and products and services that will actually get your people the results that they desire. So, when it comes to training, there are actually three different training types. This is my own classification that I've come up with after my years and years and years of doing this. And you'll notice these words here, kind of pre and post. We almost never think about before, during, or after from a training standpoint, but I really encourage you to start doing that. This is what I would tell you most people think about when they think about training. This is what most people come to me. They say, "Oh, we have a new product, we have a new service." My entrepreneurial group will say, "Oh, I have this great methodology, I have this great formula, and I want to teach other people how to do it. And I've created all of these videos that go along with it, or I'm hosting these live workshops, or I'm running this challenge." Right? These are all different ways that we get information to people, right? The steps for how to do something. I'm sure you go to YouTube. I'm sure you go to Google. I'm sure you go to LinkedIn Learning. I'm sure you go to all these places for the how to information. And that's, exactly what we need. But it's missing a couple of things, right? It's definitely missing a couple of things. And let me show you what is actually the one that is almost never thought of or never used when it comes to training design. But after you've been to the training, whether you've watched the video, read the book, had a face to face, we're in a virtual, like these are all training containers. The container doesn't matter. We're talking about the content that's inside of it. So after your people have attended the how to training and they go back to wherever they're going back to their office, back to their families, back to their lives, What they really need from you now is clarity. Please, please, please write that word down. And if anybody is actively using clarity, tell us about it in the chat. Tell us about it in the comments. What is it that you're doing? Because this is, I think, the number one thing that anyone could add to their programs in order to truly impact the level of result that your people are getting from it. Clarity. So I'm back at my desk and I'm working and I'm trying to remember what it is you told me or taught me. And A, I don't remember, right? B, I have questions. Or I tried it and it didn't work. Or, I got the partial result, but actually I really wanted the full result. What people need at this point are those little nuances. And those nuances could be additional information, and it could simply be a reminder to just keep going, right? To because we need muscle memory. That's where we get results from. We get results from muscle memory, and that clarity phase it accomplishes all of those goals. That's almost non-existent in the majority of the programs that I audit and that I look at for people. Lots of this really good how-to stuff, very little of the clarity that actually has the biggest value in getting people results. Let me show you the third style and how this plays into the scenario. The third style we like to call this idea of expansion. For most of you, you'll consider this to be either the awareness building, the explanation, the understanding. For those of you that write training, you're thinking of learning objectives like participants will be able to explain, participants will be able to understand, participants will be able to name. That's all well and good, but if you think about the goal of this, what we're trying to do is create space for something new. So we actually need to disrupt. We need to change. We need to challenge. We need to hold up the mirror and show people things that they've never seen before, didn't know it existed, and could really enable someone to create some space for this how-to training to really make an impact. So now that you know about these three styles, each one of them is extremely important. I want to give you one little extra bonus tip today about how to really use these in conjunction so that you can see a measurable impact and change and result, or ROI, whatever word you're looking for, with the training that you're creating. What we tend to do is use our really valuable live instructor time that should be completely dedicated to things like demonstrations, conversations, coaching, how-to steps. The meat of what you need someone for is actually almost always spent in this upfront phase of explanation and understanding. So if you've ever been to a class and you walked away and you're like, well, that was really great information, but I don't really think I can do anything with it, it's because we spent way too much time in this explanation phase, when actually what people want are the steps that they can go execute. And what they really need is the clarity for why it's not working for them when they go back and try it on their own. So I hope this really helps you to think about training in a completely different way when it comes to designing how your programs are going to look like. We really love to see training programs separated into these three buckets, right? So when are you going to expand people? Here's a hint. Please do it before they get to your live session. That's what on-demand videos are really good for. That's what marketing campaigns are really good for. It's literally like blowing people's minds, creating that disruption, telling them something they didn't know before, painting a future vision of what things could look like for them. That's the expansion phase. This preps someone, gets their mind ready so that when they show up to you, the expert, that you can actually guide them through the steps or show them the formula or the secret trick or whatever it is you're doing in your training in the how-to phase. And then ultimately, if you're not figuring out how to get that clarity in, you are leaving money on the table, you are leaving participant results on the table, and it is truly affecting your credibility and your ability to create results-based training. So let me know if you found this helpful in any way. We are always looking to provide you with world-class information, right? This is all expansion stuff right here. Now you know our tricks so that we can help you to get at our big mission, which is helping people to create training programs that actually create results, right? That actually create results and drive business success. And as always, I'll leave you with just a little bit of information for how to get in touch with myself or anyone from my team. But we do love to connect with people that are thinking about creating training in some way, shape, or form. We design world class results based training. We actually have some really wonderful programs that develop training teams to get even better at driving results with the programs that they have. And of course, we are a long term instructional design company, and we have the implementation and advisory services that you need to actually execute and bring your plan to life. So, however, we can help you with your training needs, please don't hesitate to ask. And if there's anything that you're interested in having us cover on these how to series, how to grow your business with training, simply connect with me and let us know. We will get your topic live on this Wednesday series. Have an amazing day.